attention to me tonight. I'm so fucking sick of this shit.
Oh my god.
Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very fucking simple.
Women everywhere are shouting the same question. Where are the men? But the truth no one wants to admit is that men haven't disappeared. They've simply quit the game. While women complain that they aren't being noticed, that they can't find partners, or that all they see are men without drive, the harsh reality is this: men are becoming more silent, withdrawn, and selective.
Where are the men? Because the silence from that demographic is deafening, as the Taco regime is actively working to dismantle voting rights for women and repeal the 19th Amendment. Most men are silent, complacent, complicit. I made a video the other day that has almost 200,000 views, close to 2,300 comments, and you know how many of those comments are men? Maybe a measly 1%. Half of that 1% are dudes cheering for our oppression. Most men are okay with women becoming enslaved, losing our personhood, and the systematic destruction of our autonomy. What they fail to understand is that it will be met with the same fury that has toppled every tyrannical regime in history. These men are forgetting the first rule of oppression. That's that you cannot enslave people forever. Not without consequence, not without bloodshed, not without revolution. The ending of The Handmaid's Tale was not subtle. It was not peaceful. It was not a neat little resolution handed down by the courts. It ends in fire, in sabotage. It ended with women, their captors. June didn't win her freedom with petitions. She didn't vote Gilead away. She became a terrorist to the Gilead regime because that's what survival demands. We are already in the beginning chapters of The Handmaid's Tale, because the Dumpty Orange Taco regime is already working on forced marriage and birth. The removal of our voting rights is in progress. They want legal subjugation to husbands and the state. So let's stop pretending that this ends any other way, and how history's worst regimes have ended. And that's with the oppressed deciding that they would rather die on their feet than live a life on their knees. And they have underestimated women. They think that because we bear the weight of their children, their emotions, and the entire fucking society on our shoulders, that we're weak and we will bow. Wrong. Women are an unbreakable force that you will never contain. Who raises your sons? We do. Who cleans up your messes? We do. And now we're done playing nice. To all the men who are staying silent and think that this doesn't concern them, when they come for your wives, your daughters, your sisters, when they force them to bear children against their will, strip them of bank accounts, passports, and personhood, are you going to finally get it? This will not end at the ballot box. Voting matters, but fascists do not give up power willingly. The ending is already written. We refuse to be the handmaids. We will be the wildfire. Try us.
She believes men are silent because they're complicit in some supposed oppression of women. The truth is, many men have simply stepped away from debates filled with ideological hysteria. They're not interested in treating politics like a gender war, and even less in listening to angry speeches that paint all men as enemies. These men haven't vanished. They're just focusing on their own lives, building careers, families, and health, instead of wasting energy on arguments that go nowhere.
What the fuck is wrong with the men in the West, bro? Why are they so dead? When I'm in the Middle East, I'm in Dubai, for example, or when I'm in Iraq, men actually notice me. Like, they actually look at me. I can see the desire in their eyes. They somehow indirectly connect with your femininity. Not that I need it. Not that I go out and say, okay, today's the day I'm gonna get looked at by men. No, but I notice that they notice me. And the truth is, I feel like a woman, okay? When I notice that about other men, I feel like a woman. But here in the West, I'm in Sweden right now, I don't fucking feel like a woman. Like, I don't know how to explain this feeling to you guys, but I literally don't feel like a woman here. At least not as much as I do in the Middle East, okay? What the fuck is wrong with the men here? Why do they have no desire? Why do they not know how to appreciate a good-looking woman? Where did your manhood go? The thing is, like, Swedish people, they're the descendants of the Vikings, okay? The Vikings were so masculine, so passionate. What the fuck is this? No, they just don't have that about them. Like, the men here, they just, I don't know. They don't have it. They don't have it.
She compares Middle Eastern men with Western men, saying that over there, she feels more desired and feminine. What she doesn't realize is that in the West, many men stopped looking at women out of fear of being accused of harassment, rejected aggressively, or seen as disrespectful. Men didn't disappear. They pulled back because Western culture taught them that any sign of male interest might be labeled toxic. The result? Men hide, while women wonder why they're no longer being noticed.
Why are all the girlies in the same boat right now? From my last post about where are the girls finding boyfriends nowadays, can we debrief how literally every single girl had the same comment? They're like, I don't know, I'm trying, no luck, blah, 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 blah. Like, why are we all in the same boat? Why are 50% of the comments saying Facebook dating? Are people really using Facebook dating? No thanks, not for me. And then just recently, the video started gaining attraction from the men, and they're like, yeah, we can't find girls either. We were told don't talk to the girls, so you have to come up to us first. Like, huh? And I think I should clarify that it's not that I can't find a man. We can't find men, because we can. They're everywhere. It's just we can't find the right men that we are looking for, that we have preference in. So maybe I should rephrase my question into, where are all the good men who have potential at? Where do I find them?
She asks where all the good men are, but admits they exist. They're just not the right ones according to her preferences. The problem isn't a lack of men, but the long list of unrealistic demands many women created. When you only search for the perfect man through a narrow filter, it will always feel like there's a shortage. The truth is, normal, serious, committed men are everywhere, but they're not valued because they don't match the fantasy standard many women have set.
Serious question, where are the men? I've been out and about all day, running errands, getting things done, and where are the men? Because everywhere I've been today, I've seen nothing but beautiful women left and right. Like, at least at every stop, I've seen 3 beautiful women, done up, taken care of. They just look chef's kiss. But I have not seen not one attractive man being outside. Not one. And I'm like, Lord, where they at? It's 7 o'clock. I know they ain't at work. Because, I'm always saying they just go to work, man. I even went to Home Depot today. Like, I didn't just go to Target. I went to Home Depot today. And Walmart and unisex stores. Like, places where there would be men and women. I'm just like, where are y'all? Anybody else? Because the more I'm outside, the more I see pretty women walking around. But it's like the ratio of pretty women and attractive men is not on the same level. Like, there's more gorgeous girls than there is gorgeous men, I guess. I don't know, but where they be at though? And not that I'm looking, because we don't chase, we attract, period. But it was just an observation. I ran so many errands today, city to city. Maybe God's keeping me in hiding. Nothing.
She notices many beautiful women on the streets, but very few attractive men. That's because today's culture has pushed men away from vanity and even from social life, making them prefer video games, the internet, or simply staying home. Many don't see any point in dressing up to impress women who say, we don't chase, we attract. The result? Men are less visible because they are no longer chasing external validation.
Where are all the cute single men in Chicago? Because every time I find a cute guy, he's either married, has a girlfriend, or something, right? He's not ready for a relationship. And it's just like, where are all these guys that are ready for relationships, I am looking for candidates for my speed dating event, and I really want to host 2 of them this upcoming month in July. So hopefully I'm able to do that. But I need more men who are single, who are ready for relationships, who are legit, who are intentional about actually being in a relationship. And yeah, so if you know of one, or if you are one, please click that link in my bio. I have a general interest form where you can fill it out, and I'll add you to my list for speed daters. And if you know of someone, feel free to tag them in this video right here in the comments, or pass them along my way. That would be amazing. And I hope to see you at a future speed dating event if you're a woman or a man, but preferably we need a lot of men too. And yeah, that's it pretty much.
She complains about the lack of single men ready for serious relationships, even while hosting speed dating events. The reality is that many men are tired of investing in relationships that bring no return, or in women who arrive with a long list of demands. On top of that, there's a mismatch. While women expect men to prove they're serious, men look at the dating market and think, is it really worth committing right now? The outcome. Men are pulling back. They're there, but they're choosing to stay out of the game.
Men want to be the woman in the relationship so bad these days. Like, relax, princess. There's no fucking reason why I should be paying for dinner. There's no reason why we should be going on a trip or anywhere, and I should be the one pulling out my card to pay. And you're just staring at me like a dumbass. There is no fucking reason why I should be texting you first. There is no reason why you shouldn't be bringing me flowers or buying me a coffee just because, or just doing something that doesn't even cost money just to put a smile on my face. But no, in this fucking generation, it's the other way around. Why in the fuck are women becoming so masculine? I want to comprehend what is happening to the men of this generation. Why do you want to be us so bad? Like, do I have to take you for a fucking pedi or a fucking manicure? What is happening? What is happening? I genuinely want to fucking know. I'm done. I'm done.
Here lies the root of the problem. Women want traditional men who pay the bills, bring flowers, and take the lead, but at the same time, society has taught men to be equal, to not take charge, to split everything. What she calls men wanting to be women is the direct result of decades of masculinity being devalued. Now the fruit is clear. Passive men, confused men, men without initiative.
Where in the world do the most chivalrous men reside? Here in Australia, anyone who's friends with me knows that I have a vendetta against Australian men. The level of manners and just general care towards women is so low. Here's an example. The other day I was on the tram and I was with River, my 3-year-old. And I had 2 big bags with me. I got on the tram and there were only single seats left. So I said to River, sit on that seat and I'm just going to stand next to you. And he was like, no, because he's very shy. So he didn't want to sit next to a stranger. So we went back and forth a few times. And then a guy a few seats behind me said, oh, yeah, take my seat and then I'll sit there and then you guys can sit together. Oh, thanks, that's so nice. So I didn't really think much of it. And then the woman sitting across from me was like, oh my God, we have a gentleman on the tram. I was like, yeah, we do actually. She's like, no, like we actually have a gentleman. I was like, yes, honey, you are so right. Like the bar is low. The fact that we are so surprised by this really small minor act of chivalry is crazy. I need to know where in the world, I mean, I feel like European men are just top tier. So what about American men? Are they like as bad as Australian men? I haven't been to America for a while. And do you know what? The last time I was in America, I don't think I really cared about this type of thing as much as I do now. Ever since I had a baby, I'm like, I can do something that you will never be able to do and you'll never be able to match. So yes, you will open a door for me. And yes, you will be polite and chivalrous and worship women because we are a jewel to be adorned, right? Where are these men?
She points out that even a small act of kindness on public transport feels extraordinary nowadays. That shows how low the bar has dropped and how rare it has become to find men who practice chivalry. But it's not that men don't exist, it's that many gave up being gentlemen after realizing their kindness is often labeled as sexism or simply ignored. The disappearance of good men isn't absence, it's retreat. A survival response to a hostile environment for masculinity.
I figured it out. I know where all of the men who are seeking emotional connection and mental connection and spiritual connection are. Are you ready to hear where they are? They're at home. They're at the gym. They're at work. They're busy healing themselves and they don't have any more time to be seeking out different people at bars or clubs or out in the streets, because that's not where they are. All right, if you are looking for one, find them at your local grocery store, find them at your local gym. All right, this is where they are because they are focused. They are tired of having women take advantage of them. They are tired of getting manipulated, and apparently they have all just dealt with a lot of narcissist people and they're just sick of it. So they're not even willing to put themselves out there anymore because they're so hurt and they cannot get past certain traumas that they've dealt with. Now, I understand this, all right? And I think that's fair, but I think it's actually a really big problem that everyone's hiding, okay? Because if someone is wanting to connect, and if you want this stability or of emotional connection or mental connection, it's important to put yourself out there. And if you're constantly living
in your past experiences, you're taking away so much from your present moment. So I truly understand we are all hurting. We are all still healing. I understand that it's scary to put yourself back out there, but if you're not doing so, you're just gonna stay where you are, and nothing that is meant for you is going to get to you, because you are putting up this wall, staying your ass at home or hiding wherever you guys are, and you're not willing to receive what's meant for you. And I understand women do put these kind of men also in a friends list, in a friends category. And why do you think that is? Because those kind of women also are just not ready for that kind of relationship. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just a sign that that person who you wanted, and I'm speaking to the men right here, the person who you were interested in placed you in that friend category was simply just not for you. You will find your person, but the moment you do get placed into that friend category, keep it pushing, keep on trying. Don't necessarily give up just because that one woman who you wanted did not give in to what you had to offer, because you are enough. You just were not enough for her. And maybe her level is actually down here, and your level, speaking to the men again, is up here. So maybe she just couldn't come up here with you. And that's the thing. Sometimes a man can perceive that as like, he's down here and she's up here, when in all truth, it could be vice versa. All right. So if it's just not working out, it's just because you guys are just not on the same wavelength. But you are taking away a lot from your present moment, because you're not allowing yourself to experience new moments, because you're so focused on your past traumas, and it's so unfair. Like, I need y'all to be present. Okay. Just be present and allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to meet, put yourself out there. It doesn't necessarily have to be out at the club or at the bars, because that's just not a vibe. But if you see someone, or if you feel like there's a possible connection with someone, like, make effort, okay? Because these women also do exist, and they're not gonna be out here knocking on doors, although it's tempting. Although it's tempting, because you know, some actually do want a connection, but ain't nobody got time for that. All right. So put in some effort, let go of what no longer serves you, be in the present moment. All right. Let it go and allow yourself to receive what's meant for you. So on that note, I hope that you were able to take something from this. And if you have any thoughts, leave them in the comments. Peace.
This one is the most clear-eyed. She realized men aren't missing. They're reclusive, at work, in the gym, or at home, focusing on themselves. Many have been burned in past relationships, used or devalued, and now prefer to invest in their own growth rather than risk again. The problem isn't the absence of men, but that they've stopped making themselves available to women who don't show reciprocity. And that's not running away. That's self-preservation.